Love is supposed to lift you up, right? That's what they tell you. But no one warns you how it can rip your heart out and leave you hollow. My name's Nico, and I'm 30 years old. I thought I'd found my forever, not once, but twice. And both times, the people I loved most stabbed me in the back and walked away. This is my story, and trust me, it doesn't end happily. I've always been the quiet type. Back in college, I was the nerdy guy who'd rather read comics than go to parties. I wasn't the one people noticed until Clara came along. She was magic. This bright, bubbly girl with a laugh that could stop time. I still see her in my head, sitting across from me in the cafeteria, her blonde hair glowing in the sunlight, smiling like she didn't have a care in the world. It was 2015. We were both 21. I don't know what she saw in me, but one day she sat down next to me, started talking, and that was it. I was hooked. She dragged me out of my shell, teasing me about my terrible playlists, making me dance with her in the rain. For 3 years, it was us against the world. Clara and Nico, the perfect cliché. After graduation, I knew I couldn't let her go. I proposed in our tiny, messy apartment, boxes everywhere, pizza on the table. My hands were sweating, my voice cracked, but she said yes before I could finish. Her eyes lit up, and I thought, this is my forever. We got married a year later. It wasn't some big fancy wedding, just us, a few friends, and a cheap cake. But it was everything to me. Clara was my whole world. I'd come home from my dull job, and she'd be there, full of stories about her marketing gig, her big dreams. We'd lie in bed planning our future, kids, a little house, growing old together. I trusted her completely. She wasn't just my wife, she was my safe place. But then things started to feel off. She'd stay late at work, her excuses piling up. It's just a big project, she'd say, but she wouldn't look at me. I'd catch her staring at her phone, her fingers trembling. One night, I couldn't ignore it anymore. A message flashed on her screen. "Can't wait to see you tomorrow," from Alex, her boss. My stomach twisted. I asked her about it, trying to stay calm. She went stiff, her face pale. Then she broke. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she choked out, "Nico, I didn't know how to tell you." She'd been sleeping with him. Alex, this rich, older guy, 15 years her senior, for months. My knees buckled. The woman I'd given everything to was confessing she'd given herself to someone else. It wasn't just sex. She said she loved him. Later, her friend Lisa told me the truth Clara wouldn't. It had been going on for almost a whole year of lies while I was dreaming of our future. Every memory I had with her, every touch, every promise, turned sour, like poison seeping through me. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. I filed for divorce the next week, found a lawyer, packed my stuff. She didn't even fight it. "Take what's yours," and she said, calm as anything. She didn't need me. Alex had money, a luxury life to give her. She walked out, and I was left staring at the wreckage of the life I'd built for us. The divorce was quick. I moved into a tiny apartment, bare walls, empty nights. I'd hear whispers from old friends. Clara and Alex were living large. Trips abroad, fancy dinners. Then the worst came. She had a baby boy with him, a son. We talked about kids, laughed about names, and now she had that with him. The loneliness ate me alive. I'd lie awake, replaying every moment, wondering why I wasn't enough. My family tried to pull me out of it. My mom with her hugs, my brother with his bad jokes, but it didn't fill the void. I was a shell drifting through days that blurred together. Months passed, and I met Emily. She was different. quiet like me, with a soft smile that made me feel safe. We'd go for coffee, watch old movies, and for the first time in forever, I felt something stir. Hope. Maybe I could trust again. Maybe I could heal. But then I found out the truth. She'd been sneaking around with her ex. I caught her texting him one night, and she just cried, begging me to stay. I couldn't. I walked away, and that fragile little light I'd been clinging to went out. Another betrayal, another piece of me gone. So here I am now, 30 years old, alone in a world that keeps moving while I stand still. No wife, no love, just me and the ghosts of what I thought I'd have. My family's all I've got left, but even they can't fix this. I gave my heart twice, poured everything into Clara, then Emily, and both times it was thrown back in my face. I see couples everywhere, holding hands, laughing, and I wonder how long it'll be before they're broken too. Love's a lie, isn't it? A pretty story we tell ourselves until the mask falls off. I don't know if I'll ever try again. Maybe I'm doomed to love people who'll never love me back. The Nico who believed in forever, he's dead. And what's left? It's just a shadow, fading a little more every day.
Nico's story really tugs at the heart, doesn't it? If it touched you, hit subscribe. It's what inspires me to keep going. Join me to hear more true stories from Reddit. Can't wait to see you again?